Right, what have we got here? It's the Wuben, or the Wuben, if you're a Ric Flair fan.
My shoes cost more than your house!
1200 lumen USB rechargeable and zoomable flashlight. So quite looking forward to looking at this. This one was pointed out to me by a subscriber called, I think the username is Bather and Bring It to Me or something like that, but I get confused with all the usernames these days. So hi there, thank you very much for the recommendation. So thanks to him, I'm going to have a little review of this one. So the actual model number is LT35. There's a hyphen US, I don't know whether that stands for the United States version or not, so I'm not sure. Let's have a quick look at the box. I like the box, it reminds me of the on the road boxes where it's plain brown, simple, straight to the point, not a load of useless ink that's not going to be needed. There's the drop standards, IPX, yeah, only 1 meter. Okay, well, we'll go over those specs. I'll talk through them actually, because it's boring looking at this and going, and this is another one, and then 2 lumens down. You know, it's better to just see the thing, and I can talk over the top. So let's see if we can get into this box. I don't think I'm going to need a knife this time. No, I can get straight in here. So Wuben, they've been around quite a while actually, and they make a more tactical type of torch. I don't own any of them, so this is the first time I'm going to have a look at one of their products. So feels quite heavy actually. I don't know why. It's either hefty or no. I think you get a free battery with this, so no, it's not in the box. So that must be why this feels quite heavy. So first impressions, I like it. Looks pretty good. I like the knurling. Feels okay. And like I said, it's zoomable. So to zoom it, you either use this ring or so you need to hold onto this there. So that'll be the zoom. So that zooms out, which focuses the beam. And that zooms back in, which does the opposite, and you get a diffuse effect. But we'll go over that. So it looks pretty nice, and there's your button. I might need to charge the battery, and this looks like your USB charging. And then here's your charge indicator. It'll be red when it's charging and green when it's done. I think it uses a pulse type charging, which is fine, does the job. And it looks like that might be micro USB, but that seems to be rectangular, so I'm not quite sure. I'll have to have a look at the cable. So let's put that to the side for one moment. Let's see what else you get in the box. That's just a piece of cardboard. There's the lanyard. Now let's have a look at this. Looks okay. It's a bit cheap looking, but at this price point I can't complain. Branded cord there. Wuben feels solid, feels okay. And that's like a spacer. Yeah, there's your spacer. So a very cheap lanyard, but at this price point, it's certainly not a complaint that I can make. What else have we got here? 2 spare O-rings, which is great. Now, an O-ring is just a piece of rubber which goes between 2 machined parts to ensure that you get a seal when they're tightened. And with this one being an IPX8, you're going to have to ensure that that's good. But they might be a 1.5mm. Feel okay, don't feel particularly cheap. Generally the cheaper ones are harder and they're more brittle and they can shear more easily. So 2 of them, great, well done, thanks to you, Wuben. What the hell is this, a Poland card? There seems to be some sort of product warranty card. So fill that in, sell your soul. That should be okay there. What's this? Wuben certificate, but it looks more like a label to me. So there's the certificate with quality check date, quality control. So nice to see. I appreciate that. What else have we got in here? What's this? A massive manual. So I'll put that to the side for 1 second. Get rid of this box. Now I like this cable. Now it is. It's micro USB. So that's obviously a standard which goes into a computer or a power bank. And there's your micro USB head. You can see it's flat on the bottom with the 2 little grippers, and then it has the cutout. So great. It's nice. I don't know about the colour, it seems a bit strange, but I do like the fact that it's braided. When you get a braided cable like this and it's reinforced at the entry point, which I like, again, that's solid, good. That stops flex damage over time, and the braid stops crimp damage over time. So excellent, well done. Hey, pretty decent. You're getting free everything here. You even get a free battery if I can find it. But let's have a quick look through this manual. So manual Wuben. Now it's going to probably, some of it's going to be in Chinese, which is fine. I presume there's an English section. There's Chinese, or is that Japanese? Let's have a look. Yeah, it's got all the different stuff in there. There's more Chinese and there's your English. So I fold this over. There's the English language instructions, focusing, charging. I can probably work all this out in my head. Let me just memorize these times. Yeah, memorized, that's it. And there's a link to the home page, because I think the home page is generally in Chinese anyway, so it's hard to get to. So put that to one side. Right, let's have a good look at this. So let's go over the specs. Wuben LT35-US. You can ignore the -US. I presume all LT35s should be the same. It uses a Cree XP -L2, which is the V5 as the LED. That's your emitter. It's IPX8. IPX8 means you can drop that in about sort of 2 meters worth of water, and it should still function. Although I always have my doubts on these USB rechargeables. That feels so flimsy, and I think, would that really stop water ingress? If they claim it does, who am I to argue? But there you go. I suppose it may be okay. I mean, you know, you may get water in there, it'll affect charging function, but it should still work. So fair enough. So that's what they're claiming. They've got a 1 meter drop rating, which I'm a bit worried about. Most flashlights, you get 1.5 to 2 meters, so quite why it's only 1 meter. I don't know why that should be the case. That worries me a little bit, but hey, at this price point, certainly can't complain. So it's USB rechargeable, which is great. Now, I like the fact, I'm just going to take this to bits to show you. Let's see if the battery's in here. Yes, there's a battery, and there's a little disc there. That'll be to stop charge in transit. Okay, so if we put that back, yeah, that's it. Now it's working. So let's turn that off. So I like the fact that the USB charge function is in here. The reason I like it to be in here means space isn't wasted. So you're using space in here to allow the charging. Instead of having the USB charge in this area, what happens is you get, it increases the width because you need space for those components, or increases the length. So it's good to see that. Let's have a look at this machining. Looks a bit scrappy up here, paint wise, but no, that's glue or something. Machining seems okay. That's a good fat spring, nice to see. Feels solid, looks solid. Nice, sensible, good travel on the button. I like that. Well made. Here's the free battery that you get. So it's branded by Wuben. Who knows who makes the original cell? It's only a 2600 milliamp hours. I would prefer to see at least a 3000 or something. But okay, it is free. So it's nice to get that, because you can fork out about $10 for one of the bigger ones. So okay, it's free, so that's fine. Let's have a look down here. That looks okay. If I can reach the spring, yeah, that's pretty sturdy. Pretty sturdy spring. So let's get this put together, and I'll go through some of the modes. I can't wait. It's already on. So let's screw this up. That's it. But so far. And that fits quite nicely in the hand. Obviously, because it's a thrower, you're always going to get the extra bit here. You know, you can't compare it to something like BLF A6, where you're not going to get this huge protrusion here. But you have to have that to get a bit of throw. But that's fine. I did notice on the literature that they call this arrangement here, this is the Lotus attack head. Now, what they're trying to say is you could use that as an offensive weapon. I don't consider that to be an offensive weapon, and I don't consider it to be made for that purpose. They might sometimes claim that, but you know, having been in a few fights, I think the last thing I'd do is try and hit someone with a torch with that action. You're already trying not to get strangled to death and beaten up, so possibly of limited use. Although you could use it to break a car windscreen, you know, for safety reasons, safety around the home, who knows, but I certainly wouldn't go running into battle with that. I'd probably pick up a handgun, but interesting to see. So we'll go through some of the modes. So in order to change modes, or in fact turn it on, you just have this clicky button. So let's go to the lowest mode. So a half click changes mode. So there's the lowest. In fact, I'll just double check I'm on lowest. There you go. So that's lowest mode. Now they call that eco. Now it's interesting that they call that eco. Most manufacturers would call that moonlight mode, and when they say moonlight mode, or you'll get firefly mode, they're trying to say you're putting out a very small amount of light. It allows you to do stuff, and it doesn't ruin night vision. Now it's interesting, they don't seem to call it that. They call it an eco mode, as in it saves battery. Yes, it does save battery because it's only putting out around 5 lumens, but it's a nice spread there because of the lens. It's a spread lens, which I'll go through later on. So that's quite interesting. So you get 5 lumens there. You're probably going to get around 215 to 219 hours, depending on if your battery's full or not. So that's pretty good. You could get, I mean, you could probably walk around with that. It's a good spread as long as you had it near your feet. That's fine. And then the next one is called low, and that's, there you go, that's 72. That's pretty good. Yeah, I like that. I like the spread as well because of this lens. It's giving me a nice even spread. In fact, I can compare that to the small Claris that uses exactly the same method. It has a convex lens, but I'll go over that. So there's your low mode, 72 lumens. You get about 15 hours out of that. And then the next one is medium, so that's nice. There's a nice, I've noticed a bit of aberration around here, but that's to be expected. You're generally going to get that with this sort of lens. So that's 360 lumens, and you get around 3 hours for that. That's fine. And then the next one, so half a click again, there's high. Now that's, they're quoting that as 1200 lumens. It doesn't feel like it. But to be fair, with this lens design, it's going to spread it more, so it will appear less bright. And I quite like the tint. It's more edging towards a neutral. It certainly isn't at 5000 degree, but sorry, 5000K, but it's getting down towards there. And then you have an SOS mode, so hit it again, and then it blinks out SOS, which is the international standard message for help. So that's interesting to have. So medium gives you 360, and I forgot to say they're high on 1200. They're saying 1.8 hours. Okay, maybe. I would say probably an hour and a half-ish, depending on your battery. And then SOS is 1200 lumens again, so just double it because it's on half the time, so 4 hours. So, you know, an hour and a half out on high is pretty good. So I'll turn that off for a second. So that's quite interesting. Now I must just grab, because it's time for a drone. So on most flashlights, you have the LED here, and you have a piece of glass. So that's not doing anything. Now with this, you actually use a lens. So instead of light just being transmitted like that, we're not going to talk about reflectors here, not at this moment in time. All I'm interested in talking about is this lens. So because it's like that, when light hits it, it is refracted, and it comes out quite in a nice even spread. So rather than getting your spread via the reflector, so you've probably watched many of my videos and you know about the bounce and how the reflection comes out and you get spill and spot. But one of the advantages of this type of lens is that you get a nice even spread. So I'll just show you that. So there's a nice even spread there. Now I'll compare that to something with a smooth reflector. So here's the fire torch. So let's get that turned on. There you go. Without strobe, there you go. So you see the difference. Now you see how that has a hot spot in the middle and then spill. Okay, now notice how you don't get that with this sort of reflector at any height. Look, see the difference? So it's a better spread. Now some people would argue yes, but that affects throw. It does. However, in order to combat that, quite cleverly, what this manufacturer has done is they've got a zoom. So you can say, okay, oh, you want throw, do you? Okay, here's some throw. So you can adjust this, and then if you watch, see how it actually sends it down a shorter path. So you're adjusting the focus, which gives you more throw. So essentially you could claim that this flashlight gives you the best of both worlds. It gives you a lovely spread for up close stuff, which it does, excellent. And then if you want to hit something further away, you just focus it and bang, that light is being focused more. Not obviously like a laser, but it's more focused. You're still going to get some spill, but that's understandable. And to be honest, I think they've done a pretty good job. It's not that heavy, even with the battery in. It's not excessively long, even though it's got charging. You can put that on its tail. Yeah, I mean this is a soft surface, but you could put that on its tail and it would balance up. That's fine. Good to see. And the button is recessed just enough so you can't hit it. I like the way they've got the USB in here. I like the modes, good run time. The only thing I'm not so keen on is it doesn't have a memory mode, but that's just a time saving feature. That doesn't affect the functionality of the unit, so that's fair enough. I've got no problems with that. The only thing that worries me is the drop rating is only 1 meter, whereas it's generally higher on others. I don't know why that might be. Maybe it's just the setup of the lens, but okay. And another thing which I've noticed is it doesn't seem to use a reflective coating inside. It just seems to be white. I'm not sure why that might be. As you can see, it's just white in there, and there's the LED in the middle. To me, that's less efficient. The less reflective the bowl is, the more light you're wasting. There will be a reason for that, but I'm certainly not going to be able to answer that on such a short video. I will do some more testing. I've tested another one of these, and the zoom does work. Unlike a lot of crappy eBay specials for $2 to $3 which claim zoom and 1,000,000 billion squillion lumens, which is an absolute load of rubbish. This does actually work and does focus the light. You don't get that horrific square projection of the LED components. So great job. I like the design. It works, it feels solid, there's no rattle, everything fits perfectly. So pretty much they've done a good job, and you're getting a free battery for the price. So let's give this a mark out of 10, and then I'll show you some beam shots, but I certainly can't have a go at it. Let's go over some of the points though. USB here where it should be, tail clicker there where it should be, it's zoomable so you get the best of both worlds, nice big lens, and it's glass instead of cheapy crap plastic. It just works. The only one thing I would say is I don't think that's hitting 1200 lumens, but it may be the lens. So understand that I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be, and therefore I could be at error by saying I don't think that hits 1200 lumens. So I'm willing to accept that, but also to my eyes it doesn't look like 1200. I would say it looks more like 950, but that's just me. I like it, well branded, well done. You get plenty in the box, and a decent cable. Free battery. Let's give this 8.5. If there was anywhere where I could improve it, I would say make this less flimsy. I don't know why that's so flimsy. It really does feel flimsy, like a breath of air could lift that. Make that less flimsy. They're nicely sized, which is fair enough. Try and bring the weight down a bit. Make that reflector of something actually reflective rather than semi-reflective, which that white stuff appears to be, and add a memory mode. But other than that, at this price point, fantastic. So 8.5 out of 10. So enough of me waffling, it's time to get outside. Let's get some beam shots.